Just say your stuff in 2 minutes. Just say they're just adding the 500.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ron from International Trade Council. So we're going to start the presentation, and I just want to inform you guys that this webinar will be recorded and this will be shared to our ITC YouTube channel. And also, I will let the presenter finish his presentation first, and after that, you can go ahead and ask your question by typing in the question in the Q&A tab. So our speaker for today is Mr. Vinod Basliel. He is a trade and investment advisor in our Enterprise Estonia. So without any further ado, I will let him start the presentation and I will let him introduce himself again. Thank you. Go ahead, Vinod.
Thank you, Ron. A very warm welcome to all the participants. Ron, just correct me if you lose the connectivity or my audio is not audible. So just keep me abreast on that.
Sure. And also, can you please show the PowerPoint presentation now?
Sure. I'll just disconnect my video and then I can go on the presentation part.
All right, so go ahead.
So I think this is just for the introduction part. Thank you very much. And we are very glad that ITC has extended this opportunity of connecting us to their members. And we look forward to encash this opportunity where we can, besides introduction of Estonia, of course, we are able to get some good prospects in terms of trades and some interest from your end if you have any investment queries, if you have any interest for the Estonian market. By here, I think for any queries, my details would be at the end of the presentations where you can get in touch with me or you can route it through Ron from ITC and then we can take it forward. So without wasting time, let me show my presentation. Ron, I hope it's visible, clear?
Yes, it is.
So a very warm welcome again by Estonia. We are a country in the Baltic region of Northern Europe, bordered by Gulf of Finland, Baltic Sea, Latvia, and Russia. We are a small country in terms that our population is like 1.3 million people. You must be familiar with that, and area of 45,000 square kilometer. I think that's more like an area of state of Haryana in India. So you can expect or you can understand what's the size of us. But besides this geographical description, Estonia portrays and pitches vehemently as a hub for industrial, global businesses services, supply chain, and a world-class IT center. We provide an ecosystem that facilitates innovation and innovative solutions, services to be researched, developed, and delivered globally. Estonia, though we were part of Soviet Union and since it got disintegrated in 1991, we owe to our 3 decades sound track record commitment to information technology. And as a consequence, Estonia has become one of the world's most advanced digital societies and recognized leader in digital skills. What basic features has enabled us to reach substantial height is ease of doing business, less bureaucracy, more transparency, world-class skill, more importantly, global outlook of our companies. I think these have uniquely positioned us as the location of choice for knowledge and business, digital business all over the world. If you just go through our geographical location wise, the setup, I mean, as I told you, we are a hub, but how we became a hub or how it's become a digital business center, of course, since 90s, our forefathers or the people who set the infrastructure, they had a long vision, and as a consequence, we understand innovations, we understand technology, and as a reason, we are at the forefront of some key technological innovations. Just to give an example of Skype, it revolutionized communications. TransferWise changed international money transfers. Taxify or Bolt, it disrupted the global ride-sharing industry. And then while we have Starship robots, those examples I'll definitely show you more on the presentation sides. Um, Besides geographically inclined, we are also prominent members of other vital units all over the world. We joined European Union in 2004. We became a member of Eurozone in 2011. Before that, yes, we also became the part of NATO in 2004. And we are the first Soviet era bloc member to become the OECD member in 2010. I think when it comes to how we describe what's the intrinsic feature or how you describe Estonia is that we are like everywhere we are digitalized. We are using these smart cards. We are using electronic means to serve our needs, to access information and everything. I mean, we are so digitally advanced and so oriented that we cannot expect life without these information tools. We are using IT as a tool to cast our votes. Our IDs, through our unique IDs, we are able to access e-services, and we are able to do it multiply. So we don't need multiple cards to access different informations. Our whole infrastructure or all these things are based on X-Road, which enables us to protect the data. If anyone sees the information, you get to know who has access to the information and what was the reasons. So through these channels, I think we are able to create a transparency and also more likely a support and a confidence among the state players. Besides this, I mean, though we are, how digitally business environment has created or helped us is from this very simple way is that with the ease of doing business is facilitated by our digital infrastructure. We are able to incorporate ourselves online. Our money transfers are all digital. Tax declarations, that's a very important component, is also being done by our special tools. And that special tool is, of course, e-residency. So e-residency, I would say that in 2014, Estonia launched e-residency, and it's more like it's a government-issued digital ID that offers the freedom to easily start and run a global business in a trusted EU environment. Estonia's e-resident population has grown to more than 68,000 people around the world, who have established nearly, 13,000 new Estonian companies. In fact, the situation has become so prominent that 1 in 6 last year, 1 in 6 new Estonian companies founded last year came from e-residents abroad. So there was one company from a e-resident every year. The Estonian Tax and Customs Board has also benefited a lot. So far, they have collected a revenue of 35 million euros. And the unique part was that last year, we generated a revenue of 15 million euros via this e-residency medium. And the best part was this was a 12% increase from the previous year. So this reflects that how much ease of doing business has e-residency has facilitated, and almost all e-residents can actually access some form of banking for their Estonian companies if they have a legitimate business and follow correct procedures. For the e-residency part, I think it's an online procedure. You just pay 100 euros and you become e-residents. You need to give some your credentials will be, of course, checked. There will be some due diligence, and once everything falls in line, you will be given an e-residency, say in 6 weeks. And through the help of e-residency, you can incorporate your company, you can pay taxes, you can encrypt your documents and send them across, you can digitally sign your documents, you can actually have the access to the different payment service providers through the channel of e-residency. So yes, I think since 2014, we have done very good on the e-residency part, and it has become a very important tool to augment and incorporate your business operations in Estonia. And good part is you can be anywhere. I mean, anywhere in the world, you can just carry on with your business operations. Our rankings have been quite promising, and we have been able to elicit a lot of responses, positive responses, and that's the way because of our tax competitive index where we stand first, our ease of doing businesses. So these are all factors that have made doing business and having accessibility in the market very easy. But besides that, our political structure, which is more has given more stability to business to not only survive but also prosper. Our government debt, we are proud to say that we have the lowest government debt in Europe. Even very good standards, it stands around 8%. When you have similar, like I just happened to read today's newspaper in the morning, and I saw that India's um, government debt is around 85%. And when you compare that with 8%, you see the difference. So this enables us to pay less interest, and our government is more dedicated and devoted to create infrastructures. They are able to provide these essential educations, health, and spend more on the welfare of the people. The most important part why you are here and how we are better than others, I think this is the most important part. And according to the Tax Foundation, Estonia's top score is driven mainly by 4 positive features of its tax code. We have a corporate income tax of 20%, but it is reduced to 14% in case of regular dividends. That is only applied to distributed profits. That means that Estonia's corporate income tax allows companies to reinvest their profits, and that also tax-free. Our individual incomes, they are also at flat 20% with no hidden taxes or costs. And this tax is not applied in case of distributed dividends that have already been taxed with a corporate income tax. So you are always protected under this DTAA agreement, where you don't go and pay by dual taxations. Coming to the third important aspect is the property tax. It applies only to the value of land. When I say that, rather than charging you to the value of real property or capital, you are only charged at the value of land. So that means if on the ground floor you raise your say apartment to say or building or office premises to 10th floor or 11, I mean the property tax will still be on the value of land. And fourth aspect is the territorial tax system. It exempts 100% of foreign profits earned by domestic corporations from domestic taxations. So I think these are all very, very attractive features for high net worth individuals who are contemplating relocating their residency into a more friendly tax environment. This is the overview of our economy, that how our labor force is there. You can imagine in the beginning, if I told you that we are 1.3 million people, and out of that 980,000 people are among the total labor force. We have an unemployment rate that, yes, has been consistent with 6%, but gradually we have been able to bring it to, our objective is to get it down to the 4% level. There has been a consistent rise in the average wage, 1,407. I think the minimum wage I have forgot to mention, but it is around 540 euros. And there has been some upward trend about it. We are the once best educated country, and this has been well supported by the PISA ranking, which has put our kids, especially in the comprehensive science, math skills, as among the top students. What this does is our students are taught online complications and skills from the very early beginning, from their primary educations. They are given these special skills knowledge through which they can take forward and get absorbed into this corporate environment. Besides, we have, of course, when these kids grow up and with the active participation of our universities, the corporate level, the interaction level, this allows us to have a world-class human capital. Our workplace, our laborers or our workforce is very skilled. Language is not a constraint because I think besides ease of making communication, whether it's in English, is very common. Estonian is a prominent language, and you will always find people speaking at least 3 or 4 different languages. So, of course, if you have concerns, I think you need to elevate them concerning that Estonia is widely spoken in Estonia. Giving you the economic layout, I think now we want to come on the macro level where I want to show the different features of our economy. Figure-wise, I think GDP-wise, our economy stands at somewhere around $31 billion. Well, that's not a very big, which says that we are ranking around in 97th. But when it comes to the per capita income, we are around 24,000 euros. That puts us around at 35th place. And as a consequence, our Human Development Index, we have a very high ranking of 0.82. There have been some concerns regarding the GDP, but because these are extraordinary times and situations, so of course, we are in a process of the recovery mode. But yes, as most of our companies are global oriented, so if any external shocks happens, it also affects, like this present COVID-19 situation. This has also affected our industry to a substantial level. I think, especially considering this COVID-19 situation, for 2019, it was around 0.7.5 due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. This is what the expected forecast is for there. But for the 2021, our World Economic Outlook, IMF, has predicted a 7.9% growth for our economy. This is the base of our GDP, where the maximum contributors are, of course, manufacturing and wholesale and retail trades. I would say that to add on this, if you say the total number of companies are around 200,000, 2 lakh plus, there are a few companies whose market capitalizations is above 400 million euros. From the investment part, I think our companies are doing fairly well, and the ROIs, the return on investments, have been easily from 10 to 13%. Our PE, profit sharing earning ratio, has been around 6 to 180%, and EPS from 0.02 to 1.13%. So this has shown that, reflective that how our companies have absorbed the global shocks. But besides that, they have also grown, and considering the size of 1.3 million people, that's a very small market to cater. Most of our companies are global oriented. They have global associations and they have global markets to cater with. Just to reflect on how our GDP growth, and I think Estonian growth was affected by an unfavorable, I think, regional situation, where European sanctions against Russia and the following counter sanctions, that affected the growth factor. But I think strong projections are there that we will do fairly well in the coming next year. I think what the basic information has been shared can be easily accessible from various mediums. But how we want to show ourselves is that Estonia is we promote innovation. And most of these products or companies that you will see, they are so tech oriented that they are providing numerous and very unique solutions. So on the top, we have this tech company, Tech, which in collaboration with University of Tartu is developing a hydrogen-powered self-driven vehicle, which is expected to be completed by mid-2021. On the right side, on the top, we have this roof, which is both working as a panel and a roof, and it's a solar roof. So basically, it's working both ways and providing you two means through one medium. Cleveron is on the left bottom side. This is, I think, this is the company. It's an Estonian company which was founded in 2007, and it provides last mile solutions delivered through its terminals, and it is catering around 24 countries across the world. They are catering on an average 1.3 million packages are delivered through their terminals, and their clients includes companies like Walmart, Zara, Warehouse, and Falabella. On the bottom side, when you see these Starship, these are robots. These are 6-wheel delivery robots, and they are extensively and vehemently looking for college campuses in US, and they want to cater over the next 2 years. These are some of our companies. I think I couldn't have put all the companies together. So some companies whom accordingly are doing very good. They are some of the prominent players in the Estonian economy. Just to start with, Bolt. Bolt is like our Uber and Ola solutions, and Bolt is a Taxify is a ride-sharing platform that is operating in 20 countries in Africa, Europe, and South America. It has 100,000 drivers with 4 million passengers signed up. Besides that, we have this company called Skeleton Technologies, and they claim that they can replace space satellites with more energy efficient ones. Aside from aerospace, these skeleton ultra capacitors are used in other sectors like motorsports, heavy industries, maritime, renewables, and grid. On the top left side, if I show you, it's a Verif. Verif has developed a SaaS, and it's an underlying technology to make it easy for companies such as banks, fintechs to easily verify a person's identity online. I don't need, I think, any introduction for a company like TransferWise, because they have made this online money transfer company very easy. Now they are valued at $5 billion after early investors and employees have sold around $319 million worth of shares. This company is one of the 4 Estonian unicorns, the other being Skype, of course, everyone knows about it, Playtech, Bolt, and the 4th one is TransferWise only. Besides that, I mean, we have a number of companies which can have sizable impact and interest, and it all depends that what kind of cooperation we can bring to them from the Indian market. Some special mentions of activities that makes us very prominent, and some of these activities are aggressively looked by the community all over the world. This Latitude 59, it happens every year in the month of May, where a lot of startups and startups with unique technology and skills comes and participate in this event, which gives them very good technical and market know-how. They meet a lot of investors to scale up their operations. Startup Estonia is always there to provide you that ecosystem where you can flourish yourself. Besides, we have Startup Technopole Incubator, which provides some initial grants to assist you with business operations. And one of the events that happens in Tartu is the Startup Day, which is also more similar like Latitude 59. Very interesting foreign direct investments. I think that's where we need your keen interest, because as Estonia has an investment-friendly taxation system. We expect that we are providing a very, very favorable playground to get more FDI inflows in Estonia. Seeing the opportunities and the prospects and the growth, last year Estonia received FDI around $3 billion USD, and the inflows have been seen a consistent rise, with number of greenfield projects and brownfield projects were supported during these efforts. How you can pursue your scope of investments is seeing the performances of the companies. Of course, acquisitions, joint ventures. I think these are the common ways how you can take part in these participations in the scope of investments. There are various projects, whether you want to put up a manufacturing base, you want to put up a research and development innovation center. Because of the ecosystems and close connectivity with various technology universities, we provide you a very good opportunity to play around and to scale your operations with the assistance of our opportunities. I think in the beginning of the slide where I showed you logistics favorability, that gave we are so well located geographically that we are able to cater the Scandinavia, the Baltics, Russia on our east, and the entire Europe and south. And I think this will become more prominent once from the point of view of Brexit. We think that most of you must have some back offices or subsidiaries or foreign representatives office in UK or in Britain. But then we presume that after this Brexit happens, this would be a very favorable opportunity for Estonia again to pitch itself as a gateway to Europe. Our credit ratings have been very sound. We have been well vouched and corroborated by very good ratings by all the three leading agencies, through which that has also able to elicit substantial amount of investments in our economy. We have been very close trading relationship with our neighbors. So of course, when it comes to FDI inflow, they have been mostly by our close neighbors who have seen opportunities in financial sector, real estate, which is the largest harbinger of FDI inflows into the economy. Again, when it comes to foreign trade indicators, imports of goods have reached not at the same scale as we are exporting the goods. And when you see the figures of our services, especially the kind of influence, the credibility of our companies have been, we are playing it that on the same way that's how we excel ourselves, and that's how we portray our ICT, information and communication technology sector. That's where we are substantially doing very good. These are our main customers of exports. Again, you see the close neighbors and who are in catching. But yes, there has been sizable shift to the Asian market, and Asian economy has also been served. Having a keen interest in products from the Estonian market. I think here I would put a glaring example of India, that besides how India is faring upon these things is that month-on-month basis, and especially during this COVID-19 situation, our exports have risen. Basic commodities which are basically exported to the Indian markets are, again, machinery, mechanical appliances, electronics, wood and wood articles. As I would have mentioned at the beginning, that Estonia is 50% forest. So you can expect that and understand that a lot of these different wood products have been serving the Indian market for a very long period of time. Of course, whenever there is a new introductions, these products have got a very good foothold in the market. And especially during these situations, I've also seen that the exports have been on rise rather than on the lower side. These are our key sectors. Besides, on one thing on the, I would say ICT is that in the beginning, NATO's Center of Excellence for Cyber Security is based in Tallinn, and also European EU IT agency is based in Tallinn. So that shows how we have excelled ourselves and how we portray ourselves and ready to pitch with expertise solutions to the rest of the world. Again, our ICT is the fundamental background, and then under ICT, I think there is no domain or subsector that we cannot cater to. Meaning by We have supreme technology in blockchain, for example, guardtime, which is providing blockchain systems to ensure the integrity of data. They are using this keyless signature infrastructure, KSI blockchain technology, that provides massive scale data authentication without reliance on centralized trust authorities. Similarly, when it comes to artificial intelligence, machine learning, um, data analysis, I mean, you name any subsectors, and we are always willing to give you some alternatives or some options where you can imbibe their technology, their expertise, and provide a solution to the Indian market. Next important for us has been business services, where we have this, thanks to our talent pool, we are fluent in it, and more importantly, we can easily converse and relate because of our multilingual capacity. So that's why, I mean, all these complements very well and augur well for our economy. I mean, electronics, yes, especially for the Indian market, definitely. And again, during these special situations and how the situation is playing out with China, I think we see it as an opportunity where a lot of products or a lot of opportunities can be explored from the Estonian market to make new partners, to understand the technology, to understand the products they have in offer. And this is how, of course, cost is a factor that we all have to consider. But again, then we have to see that how the economy plays and what's the cost variant and cost best features for you to import these products. These are for the machinery and metalworking. See here again, there have been some examples from the Estonian market who are already catering to Indian transport equipments, whether it's GPUs, ground processing units for the aero industry, whether it is for other transports like railways. So these are all kinds of imports that has been happening and recorded by the Indian economy from the Estonian side. As said, wood industry, yes, there is no additional mention that they have been consistently, I mean, in different forms of products, catering the Indian market, though capacity is a constraint. But still, I mean, in some products, pulp, wood, different products categories, they have been consistently rise in the export of these commodities from Estonia to India. Don't forget that any country is known from its food and beverages market. So of course we have different products to cater with. Our lot of alcohol and beverages have this market scope. We have different kinds of craft beers, gins, vodkas, who have already got a foothold in the market. They have been doing wonderfully well, and we are also trying our best to find the new partners for their products. Again, we have free trade zones also in the vicinity. So anyone who's looking for a custom size industrial hub or a place where they can, more like it says, looking for a place, we do have these special zones, industrial zones and free trade zones, through which we can cater to a company who has bigger scale of operations. Connectivity we are not secluded in the means way that we are creating these infrastructures so that our connectivity is far more superior, and we are connecting very well through the channel of this Rail Baltic with our Baltic neighbors, Latvia, Lithuania. And this is supposed to be finished by 2024. So then that makes the flow of goods and people more feasible and more comprehensively. Helsinki Tallinn connection. I don't know how many people have already flown to Tallinn yet, but this is the Helsinki offers the quickest ways of transportation, as it takes like half an hour from Helsinki port to the to reach to Tallinn. And via sea, there is a ferry that takes 2 hours. But now we are developing this tunnel, this Helsinki tunnel. It's a long vision, but we think with this, the projection is that within 30 minutes, you can reach the destination. And this is it from my side. And for any assistance or any personalized favoring or personalized guidance to Estonia with any of your investment query or any of your goods or any import of goods from the Estonian market, I'll be very keen to facilitate. Ron, back to you. If you have any queries or anything, just let me know, please.
All right, thank you so much for that, Vinod. It was a very informative presentation. Now we can now accept questions. Please type in your question on the Q&A tab. Just to verify, if there are some questions that is duplicate, I will not answer we will not answer the question again. And if there are some questions that needs further explanation or specific questions, anyway, you have Vinod's email there. You can email me directly, or you can email me guys directly. So we're going to start for the question. 1 second. Yes, for those people who is asking about the presentation, it will be emailed to you, and this webinar is recorded. We will going to post this in our YouTube channel, and we will send you an email. All right, so let's start for a few questions here. First question is, does reinvestment need to be made within Estonia or could be invested overseas to fetch new global business?
Well, for this, I think, yes, it's for the Estonian overtures only. Ron, I haven't seen the question yet, so let me see.
It's actually on a Q&A tab. Is your Skype open right now? I'll just send it to your Skype so you will be able to read it.
Ron, one thing is that if you miss something, you can always type me those questions and I can revert back.
Yep.
Yeah, these investments need to be made within Estonia, Ron. So it could be invested overseas. Yeah, so the investments needs to be done in Estonia.
What are the opportunities for startup and traders?
I think for startups, you have found the very right place. I think, especially considering the country like Estonia, startups has been very ingrained in the tradition, where because you will see a lot of impetus has been given to the startups. So I think there are various startup visa programs Startup Estonia is able to cater to, and I think participation in the events like Latitude 59 will give you more exposure, not only to the Estonia, but it's a world more like a world participation conference. So there you will find a lot of scopes for participation and exposure of the other European markets. Besides, startup will also assist you with various local and international VCs, which will assist you to augment your operations. And it's more like an ecosystem. It's more like a tie-up that is provided so that you can get more and more opportunities and guidance in a right direction.
And how do I get support from the government to start new business or new trading business in Estonia?
Like for the investment parts, there are organizations like us, EAS, it's Enterprise Estonia, also offers some grants. Credex is one other organization who have different grants programs through which we can assist you with various scopes.
And how will the Brexit affect Estonia?
Well, this is a question that we have foreseen, but we are not ready to answer right now. But um, of course, once it goes out, I think for me, for the Indian perspective, if someone is looking or scouting for a place in Europe, EU, I would say or portray that Estonia is a gateway to Europe. And if you already have a base in UK or Britain, yes, Estonia is the next alternative to you.
Okay. And what is the difference between personal income tax and social tax?
So there has been classifications which needs to be paid. So this will comprise um, your social security will have insurance part into it and social welfare part. This needs to be incorporated in the from the employer side for the taxation part.
And will Estonia offer financial assistance to set up a company there?
Well, no such grants. As I said, that will be covered under the grant, but it all depends on the business model that you propose and also the scalability operation. So it will all be a composite feature that what's the scale of operation of your organization is, and how well it can be incorporated, and then it eventually depends on the scrutiny department.
For startups, is there a tax holiday plan?
Not yet, not to my knowledge yet.
Okay. And I'm into trading of paper bags and plastic bag products. What are the opportunities?
Well, this I can take personally on a later mail, but trading on paper bags and plastic bags, we can offer you the raw material like craft papers and all, which which we can offer to the Indian market. So yes, there is an opportunity for that.
Next question is what does investment capital in Estonian market mean? It has to be in your business or something related to Estonian government bonds.
We don't have such bonds yet, but it is more investments. So investments, we propose that if anyone is looking for investment opportunities in Estonia in terms that they want to set up a manufacturing base or they want to have an automation center, or they want to have some R&D center in Estonia. So those are the more like the investment opportunities that we look to cater to. And that's what we are looking to, because yes, we are a small economy and FDI plays a very important role. So therefore, yes, I mean, investment is more concerning regarding inbound investments from different parts of the world.
Okay, I heard that there is not dual taxation as such. So does what that mean that it's good to open a virtual office in Estonia?
Certainly, because we have signed this DTAA, Double Tax Avoidance Agreement. So every country has its DTA, and luckily India also has DTA signed with Estonia. So of course, double taxation does not apply at all.
All right. And next question is, what is the tax structure for e-residency? Do we have to pay all the tax, or is e-residency exempted from taxes?
Nowhere there is no such differentiation. E-residency only facilitates you to incorporate a company. So it doesn't want that hassle to have your physical presence all the time. So there is no such difference. You just pay the taxes as a normal resident would be paying.
What opportunities are there in agricultural and construction machinery and equipment?
Well, for the construction machinery, yes, we can provide a lot of opportunities. I don't know whether it's for the import aspect or the export aspect, but I would say that Estonian economy has seen a construction boom. So yes, they would be required. There is good prospects for machinery and equipment. On the agriculture side, I mean, concepts are it's an open field, so it depends that what kind of specialized service or economy or options are provided.
All right. If I set up a company in Estonia but do the business in Germany, so my customer and suppliers will be in Germany but company registered in Estonia. Firstly, is it possible to do like this? Secondly, if yes, how will the taxes work?
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole concept of having e-residency. So you can even have e-residency and say you need to send a shipment from Spain or Italy or Finland or anywhere on the world in Europe. So I think through e-residency, it comes under the European Union. So definitely you can do that.
Okay. Does a minimum investment is needed for settlement in Estonia?
I think that's more the question to be taken with the consular division of the embassy. But yes, we have this TRP, temporary residence permit, that allows you to have explore such options. So I think option would be, if it's better that you go through this TRP, this temporary residence permit, and there are various options which are mentioned to get the residency related queries.
Could you please give a brief what's this? Can you please give a brief information about education sector? Is it possible to start a business in the education sector?
I mean, yes, but then again, is it like, question is more in the whether they want to take a business to the Indian market or the Estonian market. But of course, COVID-19 situation has seen a real boom in the edtech sector. And I think, yes, opportunities are there, how you can collaborate and how you can work on this sector. Again, depends on the kind of solutions you are providing or the kind of solution you are looking for.
All right, thank you. So we are receiving a lot and several questions right now, and I cannot get all the questions. But don't worry, guys. All the question is actually recorded in our platform. We will take the question one by one, and then we will get back to you. Anyway, you have this email address, and you have my email address. We will get back to you as soon as possible with all the questions that you have, together with the recording of this webinar and the presentation. So I'm sorry if I cannot get all the questions right now, but definitely we will get back to you with the answers on your question. So
Ron, before winding up, I think I'm also getting some queries on my Skype.
okay,
But
sure.
how will I assist you is that me based here, or Enterprise Estonia representative office in India, looks to cater to all those who are looking for importing, who are already importing or who are looking to import different products. We are there to cater. We are doing to facilitate by having channel partners. Our companies do want them, and anyone who wants to scale it operation and scouting for a place in Europe, we offer our services to those prospects especially.
All right, sure. Thank you for that, Vinod. So I'm still getting also several questions right now, but I don't think we can answer everyone. But you have my email address here on the Q&A tab. Please get my email address, and you can send me an email. We will answer your question, and then I will forward the questions to Vinod. So, Vinod, do you have anything, maybe last statement before we end the webinar?
I look forward to facilitate any genuine interest and queries. Please feel free to contact me or Ron. Ron can always filter it down to me. And I hope to see some good prospects and to see you in Estonia soon.
Yep. Thank you so much, Vinod. Thank you guys for attending the webinar today. Again, please reach out to me if you have any questions, and we will going to share the recording and the presentation soon. I will again type in my email address here so you can email me directly. Thank you guys and stay safe. So I will end the webinar here. Bye now.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Vinod.
Yeah.